Okay, being a warrior has generally been a man's role. He's got a lot of natural advantages, being able to expend his strength very quickly, bring a lot of it at any given time. He doesn't become pregnant, and he can be acquainted with this role from an early age. So, why would a society enlist women to help in war efforts? Well, let's talk about it. Maybe we'll figure something out that we can use in the next world building project or novel. Now, obviously, if it's just the norm for women to be warriors, it's the norm. Women are just as likely to become warriors as men are. But that's unsatisfying, at least to me, and unwise. Why would a society do that? Women are indispensable to the perpetuation of society. In other words, they're not as disposable as men. Men and a man and a woman can get married, they get pregnant, war comes, and the man is able to give his body to the cause. The woman has already given her given her body to the cause of this baby. Not to mention, since war isn't too fun, why would women willingly do that? Either this society is hyper fixated on equality, or there's something more going on. One thing that can happen is desperation, since there are usually more women than men in society. A lot of women just can't get married, and some men and women just don't get married for unrelated reasons. Some societies might view this inequality in numbers as an opportunity to get women to fight in war. This is probably a desperate move due to facing an opponent with way more manpower. And on a case by case basis, we do see women becoming involved fighting in fighting historically when they were in immediate danger. If everyone is going to be on the battlefield anyway, might as well give the women swords. This is especially when capture is deemed worse than death. I mean, if you're going to be sold into slavery or forcibly married to some guy who hates your people, you'd fight to the last too. Women, living on the border of an enemy nation, or especially on the border of wild territory, or even in it, might want to learn to use a spear. Those without swords can still die upon them, after all. So women might learn this as a backup skill if their village or castle gets attacked. Lastly, and this isn't a societal factor, but women might just want to do it for someone else. Either she wants to protect someone or be close to them. Maybe she is unwilling to let her brothers face death and hardship by themselves. Maybe she wants to make sure her betrothed comes home safe and sound. Maybe her father would have been drafted, so she disguises a brother she doesn't have to fight instead. I've found in my own writing that this is the most compelling reason for a woman to be a warrior or any kind of adventurer. She is doing this for someone else. And you can write a character who would be thoroughly unpleasant to be around, except she is an extremely noble soul who's looking after someone else. This was my experience when I tried to read the Wheel of Time series. Why didn't I stop at book one? I did not like Nynaeve when I first read her. She was stubborn, confrontational, and fiery in an unpleasant way. She seemed extremely proud, which isn't a great character trait. Then she was stubborn, confrontational, and fiery against someone she saw as a threat to those she cared about. Suddenly, she was one of my favorite characters. She was a protector, not a dominator. She was less concerned with power and position and more concerned with the well being of others. It was an element of characterization that really helped her, and I think it can make any female character better. Give her someone she's looking out for. Editing Luke here. I wanted to mention that the love for a nation or other group or authority can also be a striking reason for a woman warrior. The big example is Joan of Arc. She was devoted to her nation and to God. She led her people through their hour of need. If it's if it, uh, if it's enough that France is inspired by her, then your audience can be too. But yeah, those are reasons that women have might might have for being a warrior. I didn't include empowerment because I talked about that enough last time. Next time, I'm going to talk about the sort of clothing female adventurers would wear. Despite what you might think, it isn't the simplest topic. At least when I'm done with it.